Hey folks, it's Mama B here, and I'm going to show you how to hold your yarn when you're going to crochet. We're going to start out with taking it across the back of your hand. As you cross your pinky, you're going to wrap it around one time and continue across the back of your hand. Now when you hold this, you're not going to hold it with this finger. You're going to hold it with your thumb and your middle finger. This is the correct way to hold it. I'm going to explain it to you just a little bit. When we bring it across the back of our hand and we wrap it around our pinky, that creates tension. And you can see if I hold it really tight, I can still get a good slide of that yarn. Okay, if you are crocheting with a finer thread, say something like this, you might even want to wrap it twice to get it to have more control. But also that's very tight as well. And if you compare it to a sewing machine, you can see that your hand is taking place of maybe the tension dial or other parts of the machine. Sorry, I don't sew a lot, so I don't really know all the sewing machine terms. But I'm familiar enough to know that you need the tension right. So if you wrap it around one time, you'll get a little bit of tension. And if you loosen your finger away from the rest of your fingers, it'll slide right through. If you hold it close to your other fingers, it has more resistance. And so that's why you need to wrap it around the back, or across the back of your pinky and around your pinky, like that. Okay, now this finger, you can't hold it like this, which most people are used to. You can't hold it like this because you need something that will cause tension and release tension. And that's what this finger's for. So if you hold it with your thumb and your middle finger, then as you pull up or pull down, you see how the tension changes. And as you're working with your hook, you'll want that tension change so that you can control how big those loops are. And that takes practice, but with a little bit of practice you'll get it. And you want nice even loops like that. What you don't want is great big loose loops. You see how that's not so good? And you also really don't want really tight loops. Because if you have really tight loops and you go back to do your work in there, you can't get your hook through there. And you'll give up trying. It's so frustrating. So keep them nice and even, and they should be just about the width of the hook that you're using. You see that? Let's see if I can line that up right. The round part of the hook right through here, that's what you want it to be, about that width. And that way when you need to go in, you can pop it in and out really easily. Okay, so real fast we're going to review across the back of your hand, around your pinky, across, and finish going across the back of your hand. Hold it with your thumb and your middle finger and let this finger be your tension guide, and the tightness between your ring finger and your pinky finger will help you with that. Okay, when you're holding your hook, there's a flat spot on this hook. That's where you want your thumb and your finger to go. You want your hook facing yourself. So then, as you do your crochet, it will let it slide on and off the yarn where you want it to go. And you'll get to where, notice how all my hand does is like this. And then I push it towards the yarn or pull it away depending on how I want it to go. Now, as you see, I started out clear down here, holding it clear down here. But as I get going on my project, I'm going to want to move my fingers up so that I have more control. Because if there's a lot of space between where your fingers are holding and where you're trying to hook that yarn, you see how it gets harder and harder, and it's all kind of wobbly, and then it's harder to keep the tension, and the yarn loops start sliding all over the place. So you want to move up as you go, just a little bit as you go. So If you're holding your hook like this, then your hook will be exactly where you need it to be as you do your crochet. See how much more control I have like that. Okay, now real fast before we go, I'm going to show you how to do an easy slip knot. Okay, so real fast, again, around my pinky, across the back of my hand, hold it with my thumb. With your hook, you're going to put it on the yarn, push down and around. As you make that little crisscross, right there at the loop, hold it with your thumb and finger, hook your yarn again, and pull it through, and then just let it go. And that will tie your slip knot. Do it again. Across the yarn, down and up. Grab that hook, hook your yarn, and pull it through, and there you have a slip knot. I hope this helps you, and I'm really just so grateful that you are watching, and I hope you're having fun. I hope this helps you, and I hope you learn to love to crochet, because I know I do.